We need to pray because what I told you is what's called a violence, and that violence is what's called this was called people face to face attacking each other in Ghana election. So we need to pray for the presidential candidates. You have seen it a month ago, prophesied, and you've seen it. This one that happened is not the main target. The main target is still there. And this main target is in the class of the biggest contestant, the ruling party, the opposition, the third and the fourth. We need to pray about this matter, because this is a matter that major prophet of God cannot be a prophet in Africa, and especially Ghana, that has my interest, and that will keep mute in their election. That was why in Nigerian election, when the election was boiling here and there, and people were prophesying, a major prophet of God, I was taking it one by one, things that were played out. When I said this was called a Muslim, I said this was called rough handle. You people say, major prophet, there is a BV, there is a beaver, and there is a beaver. I told you what's called beaver. This was called tussle power. This was called the power of bidding. I told you everything. And you commonized my word. And I told you the position of everybody. You commonized my words. I remember the way the thing was captured. He said, sorry, he will do everything, but he can't win. Sorry, he cannot win. And people were lambasting me here and there. I said, because the person we all are fighting and struggling, oh, we want a good man, did that is going to be in the third position, right on this altar the prophecy was given. And you were like, oh, how can this be? Major prophet, you are this time around, we will catch you. You can't catch God. God is a spirit. There's no amount of grab. You say, oh, yeah, let me go and hold God. As you grab yourself. Because God is a spirit. There's nothing you want to do to dare the authority of heaven, the authority of Creator. Creator is the one that created you. You are not the one that created him. If you are the one that created him, you can say, okay, because I created you, I can do otherwise. You didn't create him. Somebody said, maybe juju. What is juju? What is juju? Can juju stand where even myself blink my eye? Can juju stand? The juju, can it stand where I blink my eye? Not to talk about the spirit in me. Blinking the eye of the spirit. Juju what? Juju cannot stand where I blink my eye. Only me, as a servant of God, blink my eye. What type of juju on the planet Earth can stand? The ocean cannot stand. The mountain cannot stand. The forest cannot stand. The wind cannot stand. You didn't hear what happened that day. They were right there in a boat, and the storm took over the boat, and everybody was tossed up and down. Until Peter went to him and said, "Carry down that we would perish." And he stood up and rebuked the wind. And the wind and the storm and everything, they quiet immediately. They sang a song. Amado gini kibo, amado gini kibo. Ekwesu nuru ya boso, amado gini kibo. Ebini miri nuru ya teredu, amado gini kibo. Amado gini kibo, amado gini kibo. Amado gini kibo, amado gini kibo. Ajawa nuru ya teredu, amado gini kibo. Ebini miri nuru ya boso, amado gini kibo. Amado gini kibo, amado gini kibo. Shaparada. So that is who I am talking about. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who have paid our price. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the creator of heaven and earth. So when major prophet of God, I am here giving you prophecies of things that will happen. Take my prophecies serious. Don't take it for granted. Because too much of doubt is the problem. I tell you things, you say, oh, don't forget. I tell you things, you say, oh, forget. I tell you things, you say, oh, I forget. And that is why you forgot what's called a presidential candidate. To not be complete, to be missing. They should pray. And Ghana forget. You Ghana, you forgot. You didn't say, oh, major prophet, this prophecy is direct. That we should pray for the candidate to be complete on the day of election. You forgot. Now I am telling you, the one you see the past is not the only target. Because there's what's called this was called in Ghana election. That's what's called sacrifices that are needed. And these sacrifices are people who are already contested. Many of them have gone to places and put hand in several things. And they need that what's called sacrifices. And these sacrifices that they are preparing to carry out, they are not doing these sacrifices with ordinary people. They want to do the sacrifices with fellow contestants. Make it clear. If it is not clear, forget about it. But if it's clear, let it be clear to you. If it's clear, the people that need to take a step should take a step and do the right thing. Pray the prayer that is needed. If you don't know what to pray, you look for major prophet of God to stand in the gap and tell you things the way they are in the realms of the spirit. Because this was called programmation and preparation and all things put together by 70 years old, and from there 75 years old, and the elderly people, and what's called stick meeting, and people are now flying into the stick meeting, and this was called a staff meeting and stick meeting. You carry your staff, you mount it on the ground, you disappear into the coven of their meeting, and right there in the coven, as they are doing their meeting, major prophet of God penetrated right there in their midst. Because don't forget that Jesus is the head of all principalities and powers, and has what it takes to enter into anywhere that men are gathered, anywhere people are gathered, all over the world. The spirit is moving. And don't forget the song, all over the world the spirit is moving, all over the world, as the prophet said it should be, all over the world, mighty revelation to the glory of the Lord, as the water over the sea. All over the world, the spirit is moving. All over the world, as the prophet said it should be. All over the world, there's a mighty revelation to the glory of the Lord, as the water over the sea. All over the world, the spirit is moving. All over the world, as the prophet said it should be. All over the world, there's a mighty revelation to the glory of the Lord, and the water over the sea. Because in the realm of the spirit, as a major prophet of God, are given the grace to prophesy. Major prophet of God, I don't go in periphery, I go in details. Because right there in Ghana, major prophet will be there. You have to come and see major prophet of God live and direct, face to face, to prophesy things that will happen right there. Right there in Ghana, Rain House Chapel International, also known as Possibility Arena. Be there live behind Papa Pizza. And this was called Not Legon. So be there live so you can meet with the major prophet of God and they hear the voice of the Lord, as the Lord is going to be talking to the whole world and giving prophecies of things that must surely be. Because in the realm of the spirit, this was called a stick meeting, and this was called a staff meeting, and this was called people from 70 years old flying right there in different coven to perpetrate and also begin to do things that they want to do. And these things they want to do are the reason for what is going to unfold. And people need to pray. I guess what's called, this was called in the realm of the spirit, this is what's called, people need to pray and pray the serious prayer, and they pray this prayer with all their heart to pray. I guess what's called right there in Ghana, what's called candidates, presidential candidate. The one that you see the past is not the target. It's not the target. So, major prophet of God, I am committed to giving Africa their promises and things that happen in the realm of the spirit, so that the Africa and the people of the world and the world in general can always hear the voice of the Lord and do the right thing they need to do. Thank you for watching. I remain your prophet. And don't forget that most of you don't even understand that connecting with a major prophet of God is a point of contact for superpower and grace of God and authority coming upon your head. Because I've seen a lot of people here who always come online to watch a major prophet of God, but one day they have never supported what I'm doing. If you can hear the voice of God often and often, and there has never been a failure since 2013 to 14, this ministry started. Prophecy has been coming on this altar one by one, and has never one has never failed. If I say anything and it doesn't happen that way, it means there's something I've been taking care of. And that is why it did not happen that way. And I will tell you what to be done so that that will not happen. Because it's not the will of God that anybody should perish, but all should come to repentance. For God to tell you means that God is empowering you to find a way of escape. So, if you have never ever supported this work, because it's not easy to be online like this, it's not just play. I'm doing a whole lot to make sure I am a blessing to as many that are always online with me. And I pray for you wherever you're watching the world, that God will not disappoint you, God will not fail you, God will not turn his back on you. If I be the servant of God, the major prophet of God, God will give you every support that you need, every backup that you need, every promotion that you need, every lifting that you need, every breakthrough that you need, every spiritual and physical support that you need. God will make it happen for you. So you own, and your own portion is to always support what I'm doing. Support it. It's a blessing to you. Support it is very good for you. When you support it, you take something that's okay. You're supporting the ministry of the major prophet of God with this seed. The account number of the church is there. There's nowhere you are in the world that you cannot send anything to the church. Do that. It is for your own good, and God will continue to enlarge your coast and bless you and lift you higher and settle you and give you all the expectations of your heart. You cannot also be with the major prophet of God online and the enemy take advantage of you. Where are they going to come from? Are they going to come from the words of God that come out of this mouth that is coming with double-edged sword? Are they going to take advantage of you from the building of your faith, that a man is still available that God uses to speak to the world? Is more than enough for you to be proud of your God. It's more than enough for you to be happy. It's more than enough for you to be strong in your faith. If God can speak to a man and he said it and it's coming to pass. Look at a month ago when I was telling, I said Ghana should get ready. Look at what's going to play out. I said, if you don't take it serious, if nothing is done, you're going to see it come to pass. I said it in that video. Go back to the video and watch the video. And it happened. So I'm making it clear to you, the people of Ghana, do everything possible. Wait for major prophet of God. Bring major prophet of God and put involved in what is going to happen right there. Because watch it and see. The target is not who has gone. There's another target. But in this time around, if you can pray the prayer and join faith together, God will help you and get through. Because God is God and man will remain man. God reigneth in heaven. So all of you supporting the ministry, supporting my work, supporting the work of God, I bless you. And I promise upon you, heaven will give you everything that you need, and you will be a happy person all the days of your life, in the name of Jesus. And don't forget that every support you are giving to this ministry, I also would need your name and prayer request. So I will continue to pray for you too, that God should do the same thing for you. In Jesus' mighty name I pray.